Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to be looking at the McFarlane DC Multiverse Dark Flash from the upcoming Flash film. I got this figure at Target. They were street dated for April 15th. I went in early and picked up the full set. So let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see at the top, 22 moving parts, McFarlane Toys, ages 12 plus, DC Multiverse, Flash movie, Dark Flash. Here he is in the package. Looks like no traditional accessories, just a display stand and a collector's card. One side of the package, Dark Flash from The Flash. Other side simply says Dark Flash. The bottom, got a bunch of credits, and there's his barcode, in case it helps anybody. On the back side, here's a drawing of the Dark Flash. So with no further ado, let's open him up. And I was able to pick up the entire wave at Target today, even the unmasked Target exclusive Michael Keaton figure. And of course, the mother load here. We have the Batmobile at the top. Can't wait to open that thing. You may notice one figure is missing, the standard Barry Allen Flash. I actually found him by himself at a Target a little over a week ago, so that was already checked off my list. Alright, now that this figure out of the package, here he is with all of his accessories laid out, and that was kind of a joke as it comes with absolutely no traditional accessories, just a display stand and a collector's card. And before we look at those, let's talk about and check out this actual figure. So this is the Dark Flash from the upcoming Flash film. I don't really know much about this character of Dark Flash. Yeah, I'm familiar with the Dark Flash from the comics to a point. The back of the collector's card, somebody said that Barry had a vision and saw somebody using the Speed Force for nefarious purposes. I don't know who the Dark Flash is going to be, and honestly I don't want to know. It could be Barry Allen, it could be the younger Barry Allen, it could be Zod, it could be Keaton, it could be Affleck. I have no idea. So, this figure here, he actually looks pretty cool. The sculpt and detail is pretty nice. He's got this black, I don't know, suit on, but it reminds me of sort of Venom or Carnage. It has all these different pieces. Looks like it's alive, kind of moving around. He has a screaming face sculpt. Looks like he has some sort of damage or cut through his chest here. Sculpting is very intricate all along this guy. They did a very nice job. He kind of reminds me of those creatures from the film Suicide Squad. Double jointed knees, double jointed elbows. Pretty nice sculpt. Mysterious character and villain in the film. And now for a closer look at his face and head sculpt. I mean, he's screaming. I don't know, the mouth looks a little sort of hokey. Could use better flesh colored paint. Beyond that, it looks pretty good. Looks like he's going to be the third speedster in the film. Now check out his accessories. Here's the display stand. Typical McFarlane stand. It's a black perfect circle. Has one peg for the pegals on his feet, and it says DC on the bottom. Very thin, very basic. Now for his collector's card. As you can see, it's a drawing of the Dark Flash from the upcoming Flash film. Dark Flash from the Flash. On the back side, there is a little description. If you want to read that, go ahead and pause now. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories, now let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, he's standing at about 7.0 inches tall, which can translate to just under 18 centimeters. Now for his articulation. Starting with his head here, of course, it can rotate from side to side. It can look up and down about that much. Can't look up very much, but he can look down. Tilt his head from one side to the other. Shoulders on a ball joint. Up, down, around. Now, this junk on his shoulder is very much obstructing the articulation. His arm's not going to be able to go up much further. Although, between that and his elbow, his hand goes up pretty far. Doesn't look like he has that butterfly joint between his shoulder and chest. You can't really see that big gap anyway. Bicep cut below that. Double jointed elbows, they go all the way in. His wrist can rotate, and it's going to be hinged as well. Torso, he's got a ball joint, rotate around, forward and back. Another one in his waist, rotate around, forward and back. Between the two, very nice range of motion. You can see that sort of cut going through his chest, kind of line it up just right. Legs, complete as a splits, not a ball joint, McFarlane style hip joints. Rotation is almost non-existent. They go forward, not that much, about that far. Back just a little bit. Double jointed knees. Then his ankle, forward and back, rotate, tilt, rock, and of course, to articulation. For this next scene, let's switch to a street type setting. Here's the Dark Flash running through the streets of wherever they end up in the film. Maybe Metropolis, maybe Gotham City, maybe Central City. A closer look at the Dark Flash running, reaching towards something in front of him. And here's a side view of Dark Flash running, using the Speed Force just like Barry. Now, not as much is known about the Dark Flash from the Flash film, at least not by me, and I want to keep it that way. But Dark Flash in the comics, he steals souls of people. Here's Dark Flash chasing after both young Barry and the regular Barry, trying to catch up to them. They're both trying to run faster than he is. Now let's check them out next to some other action figures, starting off with some other Dark Flash, Flash, and Speedster McFarlane figures. Here's the Flash movie Dark Flash on the left, next to the Speed Metal comic Dark Flash on the right. Both the same character, both probably going to be utilized completely differently in each story. Rumor is they're going to release the other two face variants of the Speed Metal Dark Flash in the near future. We'll see. Probably in a 3-pack or something. And here he is, next to another Flash Speedster villain. These are both McFarlane's versions of the Reverse Flash. And here he is, next to Godspeed, another Speedster, sometimes an enemy, sometimes an ally. Now let's check him out, next to some Barry Allen Flash figures. Here he is, next to both versions of Barry Allen for the upcoming Flash film. The one on the left is the version we're familiar with from Justice League, and the one on the right is a younger version from the alternate 2013. And here he is, next to the Ezra Miller Flash from Zack Snyder's Justice League. I guess this would be the 2016 version of Barry Allen. Then, next to the Rebirth Comics version of the Flash. And now, next to the Injustice 2 version of the Barry Allen Flash. And here, next to the CW TV series version of the Flash, played by Grant Gustin. Then, next to the Speed Metal version of Barry Allen Flash. And here, next to the Page Punchers version. Now let's check him out, next to some of the McFarlane Speedsters. Here he is, next to 3 different versions of the Wally West Flash. Then, next to 3 versions of the Jay Garrick Flash. And here he is, next to a couple of versions of the Wallace West Kid Flash. And here, next to Bart Allen as Impulse. Here are absolutely all of the different McFarlane DC Multiverse Speedster figures they've made. There are quite a few at this point. The next ones I'm aware of coming out is going to be the Target exclusive Flashpoint Flash. We also have the Big Bad Toy Store exclusive Black and White Flash. And then, rumor is they're going to give us the other 3 or other 2 face variants of the Speed Metal Dark Flash. And now let's check him out next to some other Flash Wave figures. Here he is, next to both versions of Barry Allen from the Flash film. And here he is, next to both Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck Batman figures from the Flash. Then, next to Supergirl from the Flash. Here's the entire Flash Wave of regular figures. 7 figures so far, bunch of vehicles as well, and hopefully some surprises down the road. Here's the entire Flash Wave, all the figures, the Batmobile and the Batcycle. Still waiting on that Batwing from McFarlane Toy Store. They are totally BSing on that for me. Now let's check him out, next to some other recently released McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here he is, next to the McFarlane's Toy Store exclusive Dick Grayson Robin and Kyle Rayner Blue Lantern. Then, next to some recent Target exclusive Gold Label figures, we have the Flashpoint Aquaman and Project Superman, the Dark Detective Jokerized Batman, and Impulse and Deadman. Here's the Dark Flash, next to some recent Walmart exclusive Gold Label figures, Vampire Batman, Vampire Joker, Eradicator, and Beast Boy. And here he is, next to the Titans Wave, Collective Build Beast Boy. Then, next to Shazam and Wonder Woman from Shazam Fury of the Gods. And now, next to the Arkham City Riddler and the Arkham Knight Earth 2 Batman skin. Here's Dark Flash, next to the most recent McFarlane Mega figures. We have Fulcrum, Abominus, and Calabac. And here he is, next to the 4th wave of Page Punchers. This is an Aquaman-themed wave. We have Aqualad, Aquaman, Ocean Master, and Black Manta. Then, next to the Dark Knight Trilogy wave, Collective Build Bane from the Dark Knight Rises. And now, next to the Kingdom Come Armored Batman and the Dark Knight's Metal Gladiator Batman. Here's Dark Flash, next to Con-El Superboy, Duke Thomas the Signal, and both versions of the Jake Garrick Flash. And here he is, next to most recent Batman wave. We have the Hush Batman, both versions of the Nightfall Catwoman, both versions of the Rebirth Mr. Freeze, and the Infinite Frontier Joker. And finally, next to both the Amazon exclusive Tim Drake Robin and the Amazon exclusive Batman Family 5-pack. Now let's check him out next to some action figures from different various companies so we can see how he fits in both scale and style wise, in case you know what signs you can mix him with. Since he's a McFarlane figure, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start with my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect and work way smaller. But first, let's check him out with some of his McFarlane Toys brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale. Then, next to some more McFarlane Toys. These are from different various video game properties. And now, next to some Jack-specific wrestling figures. Here he is, next to another one of my wife's houseplants. And here he is, next to some DST or Diamond Select toys. Then, with some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. Then, standing with some NECA figures. Then, next to some Mattel wrestling figures. And now, with some Jazzwares AEW wrestlers. And here he is, next to some Mezco 112 collective figures. Then, with some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here he is, with some Mafex figures. Then, with some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here he is, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. And finally, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, it's a pretty nice figure. The sculpt and detail in the suit is really good. I'm not really fond of the way his mouth and sort of face area looks, at least the part that's flesh colored. I don't know, definitely needs a better paint job. His articulation is quite limited as far as his shoulders, his arms going up. That's a little bit disappointing. His accessories are also non-existent. So he's got all those things going against him, but the figure itself does look good. But it's also not a character I'm attached to. Maybe after seeing the film, I'll be a lot more interested in this figure, but right now, the tie-up between him and Supergirl as far as my least favorite in the wave. I'd say Supergirl is the worst figure of the 7, but Dark Flash here, he just doesn't seem that important to me, not a character I feel like I need. But then again, he probably is crucial to the plot in the film. If I were to rate this guy, I'm probably going to give him a 6.5 out of 10. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.